my name is Petro, and today I'm going to talk about video games. First, I'm going to talk about video games and its history in human history. So, I'm going to focus on home console video games. That's the video games you play in your home. Video games actually started like 30 years ago with arcade, but 20 years ago, in the 80s, we got home console video games that you can play at home with 2 controllers, multiplayer or single player. And what is essentially a video game? A video game is a machine that plays games, obviously, and you can play games with a friend or by yourself. Many types of games, and yeah. So first video game was the NES, or the NES, or Nintendo Entertainment System, that came like a savior to the video games. That video game saved all video games because video games were dying, and then they launched that video game, and it saved like the history of video games. It made a lot of success. And then after that, they launched Super Nintendo. That was the next generation, the second one, and it made a lot more success, and video games were growing by that point. After that, they made Nintendo, that is the oldest video game console maker, did a partnership with Sony to make a new video game, but it finished wrong. So Nintendo did Nintendo 64, that one with that controller, that strange controller, and Sony did the PlayStation, the famous one, the first one, the PlayStation. Okay, after that, Nintendo did GameCube and PlayStation, and Sony made PlayStation 2. That was the best selling console of all time, and it's still the best selling console of all time. And Microsoft entered in the game with the original Xbox, with those 2 controllers here. Okay, so after that, Nintendo made the famous Wii. It's a big system, and that video game specific brought a lot of people to the games, to the game scenario, and it like made a lot of success because of its motion controls feature. And with that, Microsoft did the Xbox 360, that made a lot of success too. And Sony the PS3, that didn't make a lot of success compared to PS1 and PS2. Okay, passing on next generation to the Wii U, the Nintendo Wii U, the Microsoft Xbox One, that's the 6th generation, and Sony's PS4. That Xbox One and PS4 are selling today. Actually, they sell a lot even today. Wii U just died because it was the worst selling console of all time in Nintendo's. And PS4 and Xbox One Xbox One sell a lot even today. Then Nintendo came in 2017 with the Nintendo Switch, that it's a hybrid, a console that can be a home console or a portable console. You can change it the way you want. And Sony came with a PS4 Pro, and Microsoft with Xbox One X. That was an upgrade to the PS4 and Xbox One that runs in 4K. Okay, so that's basically the history of video games resumed. The home console video games, the 3 big industries that produces video games until now. We have Sega too, but Sega died in the N64 GameCube because their console didn't make a lot of success, so they just make games today, and yeah, that's it. So here's the Xbox One X, as I say, and the Super Nintendo, and that's a cartridge. The games, old school games, came in cartridge back in 20 years ago, like that, and then you put that here, that little. Okay, so today's games comes in DVD, except for the Nintendo Switch that still use cartridge, but like it's much smaller than the old ones. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about rating, pending, and what rating can affect the consumer. Rating, I'm gonna use the ESRB rating, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, as an example for the whole thing, because they're the system that sells more games in the US, in Canada, and Mexico. So rating comes with that little square here that indicates the content of the game, and it can be early childhood only for kids like before 8 years, for everyone, that's free for everyone, everyone 10 and up, teen, mature, and adults only. That rating pending is when the game is getting ready to be launched. So that indicates a lot of the content present in the game, and it can vary. So that's a little square, and that's the problem, because sometimes people don't see that square or just don't know it for what is supposed to be there. And when people don't see, like your parents will buy a game for you and they don't know the content of it, and it's like mature, that's plus 17, and they buy your game and you have like 12 years, and you're consuming explicit content, and that's like wrong for you, for your childhood, and for your formation. And so people can become aggressive or violent in the future by consuming that type of content. Not necessarily, but it can be possible, and then that can become some kind of problems in the future. So basically, that's it about rating. And okay, education and video games are like they walk sideways, because Minecraft, for example, that's a big game that made a lot of success in 2010 and 2011, and today they use that education edition to learn in schools. So Minecraft is a big. For myself, I learned a lot of English with Minecraft, and that's a big success, because you use some game that people have fun and they want to play to learn. That's like a life hack, and that should be in every school in the world. Even some US schools uses it, but should be in every school, because that's like a big facility for everyone. You just throw the game to the kid, to them to play, and they just play and are learning too. So Minecraft Education Edition have like chemistry, physics, that kind of things to learn in its content. But we have also other games that can be learned too, like there are games that are based in education, but Minecraft is a big example of like the game that made a lot of success that wasn't made to be educational, and they did it educational after. So okay, now I'm gonna talk about today, more specific 2018. We have a genre specific that is making a lot of success, that's Battle Royale, and we have some examples here, like Fortnite is making a lot of success in 2017 and 2018, and that genre is a little bit violent, but Fortnite that has the graphics like based in kids, so a lot of kids play that game. They're consuming a little bit aggressive content, but not necessarily much aggressive. Like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is much more aggressive because it has much more realistic graphics. And Free Fire is another one that's just like Fortnite, but for cell phones. So Fortnite is in every platform, like PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, cell phones, or PC. And yeah, basically that game is making a lot of successes, like destroying the others, and yeah, Battle Royale is on fire in 2018. Okay, so about our generation that we are today, we have the PS4, as I said in the first slide, with PS4 Pro or PS4 normal, and Nintendo Switch and Xbox One or Xbox One X. That's the 7th and 6th generation of gaming consoles. Okay, so PS4 is from Sony, as I say, Nintendo Switch is from Nintendo, and Xbox from Microsoft. Those three are the big selling consoles that are making success today, but they're not the only ones. We have more, but they don't even sell a lot like that. Okay. So conclusion, I love gaming, as you can see, and we have like gained in 20 years, in less than 20 years, made like a lot of success. You don't see any house without a video game, without at least a video game, and you have PC gaming too. That's like much more famous than home console, but PC isn't like accessible to everyone, and home consoles do a lot of success because of that. We have a lot of fans and communities around the world that are playing games, and their games have like close communities to them, and yeah, those communities are just like unified and they talk to each other. You can meet people around the world and around your country maybe just playing video games, and that's something 20 years ago we won't see like normally. And yeah, basically games are life and games are forever. Thank you.